Hello, everybody. Welcome back to BareRose Garage. It's live and it's Saturday. So, what do we got going on this time? Let's see who's all in here. Layton, what's up, man? It's good to see you. We got Landon, cousin Mike, Hubby's Garage. Jeff, good to see you, man. I missed that gasser. I was gonna your cold start on your Hillborns. I was gonna share that for you again. Colleen, great to see you. Dean, our good friend from Kiwi Land. Always great to see you, man. Looks like Jay's going to be out. He's got a show to do tonight. Like I said in there, knock 'em dead, Jay. And Blake from Bad Tree Productions. Always good to see you, man. Let's see, get that switched over. There we go. That's easier when I got it all opened up there. Alan's Cars and Stuff. Great to see you. Always good to see you. So, what's everybody been working on? The one-eyed cat, Don English. Four or five Facebook pages today, and the views went through the roof. You betcha. That is one cool car. If any of you guys haven't checked him out yet, he's actually restoring. Uh, it's actually an official gasser from the era. What a time for my voice to go out. I won't give too much away, but you got to go over on his channel and check it out. It is just way cool. Hillborn injected everything. Water pump on a 61, huh? 61 Cadillac. That would be the, oh Lord, what size is that? I can't remember. Cadillac's too far out of my wallet. Mofo, good to see you, man. Envious Creations Car Club. For some reason, that name just tongue ties me. Great to see you, man. I've still been neck deep out in the shop getting it all straightened up. I'm hoping by Monday I'll be able to get my backhoe in there, and then I'm gonna set my towers up for my lift. That's what I've been working on this whole time is moving shop around, the nasty stuff. It's clear full of all kinds of stuff. Boxes and boxes of stuff. Boy, I hear you, Turbo Tom, but it's not just Mopar. It done got all of us. Ford, Chevy, everything. Everything's just too complicated nowadays. I mean, when you change tire size on a car and it don't shift right because the computer miscommunicates, uh, I like the freedom of being able to do whatever I want to do to my car when I want to do it. And when it breaks down on the side of the road, a little duct tape and some baling wire, and I can still make it home. So I got the link posted up there if anybody wants to jump on in. Come on in, talk about your project, or your week, or how many wrenches you threw through the garage door. Boy, I hear you there, Cousin Mike. It's all I can do to figure out this one that's sitting in front of me. Uh, let alone sticking it on four wheels and trying to get around with it. Everybody asks me what's the best new car to get, and my answer is universal, the one with the good warranty, because they're all pretty much the same anymore. My windshield in the Mustang is cracked in two places now. Ooh, when it gets replaced, it has to be calibrated. Got to replace the windshield and it's got to be recalibrated. Yeah. Yeah. Guy up at the top of the canal here, he had a, oh, what year was it? It was a Land Rover that had the automatic tinting windows in it that all ran through the body control module. Yeah. That thing was sitting there. He had it for a good probably 4 years. In fact, he finally died and the salvage company come in and just hauled it off for junk. But part of the reason it wouldn't run is because of those windows. The auto darkening in them wouldn't work, so it would miscommunicated through the body control module. And it's a Land Rover, so you know it's born with wiring problems. BNR, good to see you, man. Good to see you too, Spencer. Rain sensors and cameras behind the windshield. The computer has to be calibrated to the new glass. It's just crazy. I know, isn't it? It's just why? So your windshield automatically detects that there's water on the windshield to come on. That's what a knob's for. I tell you, it's just the more things they make automatic, the more problems that come with it. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I wouldn't doubt it. Elon Musk is trying to buy General Motors. Whew. I tell you, I wouldn't doubt it. But like I said, the way things have all evolved into where the time period we're in, there really isn't a new GM that I would even want. We test drove a bunch of them when we were shopping around for a new one. Honestly, Ford was the last thing I wanted because I've had to work on too many Tritons, and that modular Ford is just, uh, they're okay when they run, but when they don't run, yeah. So we drove everything, and the Chevy, we didn't like it. It had a lot of road noise, and the price tags on them was outrageous. The Ford was actually within our price range, and the Ford has still got a real transmission, even though it's all automatic now. Cleaning at the engine bay of my '87 Ram 50. Holy cow, how many wires do you need? Running through schematics to thin it out. Yeah. And helping Mopar's Mustangs and I'm gonna call him Triple M. Mopar's Mustangs and minivans. Great guy. Do rear brakes on his new 88.5 or 85. Yeah, when it comes to Mopars, I might be blasphemy, but I strip every wire out of them and I switch them over to the GM wiring diagram, the 70s down wiring. And I do it off of the Speedway 22 circuit wiring kits. I've had very good luck with them. Doug Narden, good to see you. We got the doc in the house. How's it going, Doc? Yeah, but that's the secret to all of my rewires. It puts everything brand new, and also I do it because I've done it for so many people now that if they call me on the phone and they have a problem, I can tell them what color of wire it is to look for and what size of wire, even though they're labeled every 6 inches. But I know how to I know I know that one so well that, it makes it easy. The James and James show. Boy, you guys are fast. How's it going, guys? Scarlet the Four-Eyed Cuda. That is such a cool name. I think of you guys every time I go to Waltz. He's got a 60, 66, 67 Cuda out there. I know it's only got one headlight, but I think of you every time I see it. I was given a 30-gallon plastic tank today for the fuel-injected D150 long box. I test fit it in the truck today. Cool. I like those poly tanks out of Jeep Cherokees, the XJs. They're made to fit between the frame rails, and they work. You can work them into a lot of other things. I've got like 2 or 3 of them hiding out by the side of the shop, and they're poly, so they work really good. Get caught up on the chat here. And like I said, if you guys want to join on in, hop on in. Oh, here we go. We got Cousin Mike jumping on in here. I'll stick my earbuds on here so we don't get no feedback. There, how's that? So what you got going on there, Cousin Mike? Been a long time since I seen you. Oh, it looks like you're muted. There you go. Whoa. Whoa. Sounds like a monster. There, you had something going on. Something with your mic there. It sounded like a monster or something. Yeah, for some reason you're muted still there, cousin Mike.
Things going crazy.
There you go.
I'm gonna turn off the TV there too.
Oh, there you go. Now we can hear you.
Testicle difficulties. Yeah, I got my new shirt in the mail today, so I can wear my own name, not Buff's.
Sweet butter.
Still got some Buff up here, but it makes me feel more professionals.
BareRose, do you come across many Certa cards in your Mopars? Tell you the truth, I don't come across many Mopars.
We try to avoid them.
I'm not kidding you. They are very, very rare here, and the only reason I got that dart was pure luck. And yeah, this guy right here.
I can find anything.
But no,
my cameraman, huh?
We've even out at the old classic wrecking yard, you know, there's a few out there still, but even old Walt, he wants a pretty penny for them compared to the others that are out there.
Yeah.
And there's not many left out there.
Yeah. I didn't get my cameraman over today, but I did do my first video on my Hummer. So I'm going to have that premiering tomorrow morning.
Hey, it might go along with this rumor that Elon Musk is buying them out.
Yeah, I scheduled the premiere, so if anybody can make it to that or share it out or whatever, then I'd appreciate it. Got some good humor in there.
My 66 Dart has one of the original owner's name on it. That's really cool. That was the coolest thing about that old cop car that I landed into. It had all kinds of paperwork in it. But the coolest thing was the handwritten notes that were in it. And I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. It's all kinds of math problems, like algebra and stuff. And I asked an old sheriff, and he said that those are he's figuring out time, your speed. Back in the days when they had to use a stopwatch, so he'd watch you go from one point to the next point, like one telephone pole up to a fence post, and he'd click it, and then he'd do the math to tell how fast you were going. So everything in it like had, you know, on the backside it'd have all these math problems. That's what he was doing. He was practicing.
Pretty neat.
Of course, he was a sheriff in Sheridan County, Wyoming. So I'm sure he was clocking jackrabbits out there.
And tumbleweeds.
Hey, Stephen. How's it going? I just got your voicemail. I think it might have been an older one. My phone, you can ask Landon. Sometimes if you send me a text message or something like that, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 days for me to get it for some reason.
Normally his phone has to be at least 6 inches from yours. Whenever I walk up next to him, his phone just goes, and he gets all these messages from me.
And I'll look at it and I'll go, oh, Oh, you're on your way over with this that you brought over last week. So
Yep.
I apologize. It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just I just got it this morning.
It's got that tap feature. You have to tap your phone to yours. So if you mail your cell phone, we'll tap it, get the messages, then mail it back to you.
It started doing that when we were out pulling that slant six. I think I always carry it in my pocket or in my cargo pants. I carry it on the side. Well, when you're lifting stuff around and crawling under, yeah, I busted the heck out of it again.
I know a thing or two about busting phones and lifting things, so I understand.
So, what's everybody been up to? About got the shop ready to stand them towers up.
That's been some rough work.
Oh man. I gotta dump the burn barrel now. I got it clear full of ashes now. Protecto plate is really cool to have with the old Chevy too. Those owners' name, date, brought into service. Really fortunate to have that with my car. Cool.
I pulled the back seat up in my Thunderbird today. No build sheets in her. Guess it's not worth anything now. I'll just have to get rid of it.
I got a little bit of the Mercury one.
Yeah.
A little bit.
What the mice didn't use to
Exactly.
eat. Yeah. There's some mouse nest under there I gotta get out.
Class 4 digital multimeter as a way of logging voltages or resistance over time. Yep. And you can check amps, everything. Everybody forgets about amperage.
Yeah. I gotta rewire all the back lights on my Ford because my pickup is somewhere along the way. I think the wiring's shorted out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my tail lights quit working and my right turn signal's really faint, barely lights up. So probably just cut it all out and run an old extension cord from the front to the back and redo it.
How's the brake switch? The brake light switch?
The brake light switch is good. The brake lights work really nice and bright. I think it's just the right turn signal and the tail lights.
Okay.
So I'll probably tap into those and just run an old extension cord from the cab to the back. Those work good for little wiring repairs. Got a nice thing on them. One-eyed cat, the Hummer 2, I don't know if it has a build sheet. I haven't got that far yet. But we did get it. I got it all pulled out today. Took a bit of work, and it's going to be a really good video. Hopefully get a couple million views on it.
We'll figure out a way to supercharge that thing.
Yeah, we'll just say there's a big Ford truck involved and a winch to drag out a little plastic Hummer.
Can't give too much away.
Pretty technical stuff. So if you check out my page, I got my thing on the community page with a link to my premiere tomorrow. So
front sway bar, huh? Steering knuckles and passenger strut rod.
if you're steering with your knuckles, you got problems. Oh yeah, D150. It's a Dodge. Okay, I get you.
They're a little easier than the cars.
Yeah. I like Dodge trucks. They have some beautiful trucks.
Fighting with FedEx as they won't deliver my Speedmaster package without a signature, but they won't drive the 200 yard.
You can get the app and put in a location, and you can just have them drop it off somewhere, and you can pick it up at your convenience. That's what I do. I just go to the Walgreens, pick up my packages when they get there.
Yeah, when the snow starts flying and everything, they get kind of scared to come down my driveway. I think they're afraid they can't get back out.
Yeah. The old one-eyed cat got 14.2 thousand on a short. That's cool.
Sweet.
Good stuff.
Write it out.
Yeah. So that's my biggest video, that dumb walk around on that Rambler Ambassador out at Waltz. Just did a little walk around on it, got like 15,000 views.
A set of 2000 town car spare tires, huh? I actually like the factory rims on those. I think it's the same as 98, isn't it? 98, 99, 2000.
Should be pretty close anyway. Yeah.
Obviously, everybody else does too, because I can't find another set of them.
Hubby's Garage says they delivered a 7-Eleven there for the FedEx. That's got to be awesome, because then you can get you a Slurpee while you're picking up your package. See, out where Kim grew up out there in Woodville, they had old Elmo's store, and he had the good Slurpees where he went to the real gas station, got them in a cup, and then put them in his freezer, so they were just a rock solid chunk of ice when you bought them from the little Woodville store.
Old Elmo Fackrell.
Yeah. His great big commercial meat grinder sitting in my dad's kitchen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my dad bought that for butchering his animals and stuff. Great big sucker. It runs 110 or 220. Yeah. Yeah, it always cracked me up. My cousin, he'd always go over there and get a Slurpee, and I'm like, dude, it's not even like a Slurpee. It's a flavored chunk of ice.
I always wanted to get the gas pumps that he had out front.
Yeah.
But somebody got them.
Have to talk to old crazy George Hay and see where they went.
They're probably at George's place.
Probably out there. He has everything out there.
I remember that. Oh, what was it? It was either a Pinto or a Pacer.
Yeah.
I think it was a Pacer.
Pacer.
He put a 455 in it. 455 Oldsmobile down inside that thing. It was so nose heavy that, boy, he could burn rubber all the way through Woodville.
Well, that's like 25 feet.
It's not saying much because it rode on the front bumper. It was nose heavy. But
it was going downhill, so it had more power. Yeah, he's quite the cool old boy.
He lived right behind me. Well,
Yeah.
up and off to the side. Kind of on the old Yellowstone Highway or New Sweden Highway, the old one
Yeah.
where the old bridge came through.
Yeah. Hey, Smacky's here.
Hey there, Smaggy. Getting cold out there? Yeah. Actually, it warmed up a little today and it was starting to scare me. The ice was sliding off the roof of the shop. And boy, it sounds like, yeah. I was scared
About
my
have an
Pontiac was
accident.
dead. Me and Landon had to run out and make sure my Pontiac wasn't split in two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got up to 40, I think. We have an
Yeah.
unusual warm snap coming through.
Yeah. Melted a whole lot of that snow. Right
Hey,
when I
Mohawk.
fix my snowmobile.
Good to see you, Steven. Sam, good to see you, man. Yeah, like I said, links there. I'll go ahead and pop on in if you want. Wish I had a more of a topic going this week, but I've been just so busy moving boxes and stuff.
Don't even know what we're moving.
Nope.
We're just moving it.
Yep. Saves my sanity to not open a box. I just stack it up in a different spot.
Just so you know, if it says fragile on it, it's most likely bubble wrap.
It's
'Cause
clear
that
full
stuff
of bubble
is
wrap.
that bubble wrap is fragile.
Oh,
Who
yep.
puts bubble wrap in a box?
When I seen that, I almost burned all of them.
Like, nope, not dealing with this. Yeah, it is a super good time to hit that like button. While you're at it, order Landon a Christmas present. I'll give you my address if you email me.
Got rain coming tonight?
Uh-oh.
Hey, there's JB. What's going on, man? Really digging that 2.8 content you got in there, man, because I'm tripping over 3 of them little 2.8s right now. 2 of them are in good shape. One of them, it's pretty much just parts for the others, but and I got one more in the little blazer too. But that's a cool project because, well, until I seen your channel, I used to yank them things out and just throw them away. Run them until they didn't run no more and stick something else in them.
I got my Landon 2.0 stickers here. If everybody goes to my about page and email me your address, I'll send you one. Hook her up. They're pretty cool. Sparkly. That sparkly attracts rednecks. Tim's dad seen that and was like, whoa, right in his pocket.
Hit you like a pack of dogs on a 3-legged cat.
That's right.
Yeah, we got snow coming. I'm
That's
not sure
awesome,
when it's
Hubby.
supposed to hit.
Hubby's garage hit 600. Like I say,
Sweet butter.
I'm always giving them props. That sticker mule's real good, and if you go in there and check it out and put your email in there, they'll send you some emails with some sweet sticker deals. Like, I think I paid like $11 for this stack of holographic stickers. So I got another stack too in my car to give out. Yeah, stickermule.com.
I'm a little bit behind on watching videos there, JB, but that last one I seen of yours where you're going over the pulleys and stuff like that, where they're specialized just for that, man, awesome video, man. Totally cool video. Whoa.
Oh, what's happening, guys?
Hey,
Oh, the
Sam, what's
circle
going
talks.
on? Hey, we get a sneak
Just
peek here.
here at the shop tonight. Oh, what's going on, fellas?
That is one cool car right there.
Thank you. Let me see if I get this connection a little better.
But anyway, JB, we used to get questions like that all the time on, one-off super specialty stuff like that. And yeah, you can have a machine shop make you stuff like that. Wow. The prices when you're done, yeah. You're kind of scared to even touch the keys, let alone put them in the ignition. Yeah, true, Blake. You get into them and yep, then they start just throwing you all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a deal on this t-shirt too.
Up. Putting reverse lights on the W350. Sweet.
Nice.
Usually on those, I get to the point that I just get frustrated and put a toggle switch.
If it's that big a truck, you probably don't need lights. Just go where you want to go.
Yeah, just drop her in reverse and go. The problem with toggle switch, I had a truck like that, I forgot and got pulled over because I was driving down the road with the reverse lights on.
Around here, a lot of people, they'll have a flatbed on and then they'll have lights around for feeding. So they'll throw a bale of hay on and then roll it through the field and throw hay off of them. And at night, they'll light it up all the way around. And I put a lot of them on for that.
Yeah, my off-road buggy's set up like that. We got a high amount of lights for at night.
Yeah.
My tissues here.
Got some parts in.
I'm getting set.
Still need to order junk. I hear you, man. It's a never-ending task. You always gotta order more.
Yeah, I was looking at some, and I noticed on the newest catalog, I noticed some prices went up on some stuff just from the last catalog, from the fall edition
No
to the
kidding.
December edition. They went up. I
Oh
think the
yeah.
LS crankshaft went up like $100 for the stroker crankshaft.
Oh, really? A full 100?
Yeah, yeah. I was looking at the new catalog today, and I was like, man, that looks like it went way up since last time I looked. And I come home and was checking through the old catalog and looking. That was bound to happen. It was going to trickle down to everything.
The cost of steel scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last batch of 2x4 120 wall I bought, they come in 20-foot sticks, was, I think it was 75 or 85 our cost. It's 165 now a stick. Our
I think your
cost.
dad said 180 for the 2x4.
Was it 180?
I think it was 180 and like 160 for the 3x2.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
it's not
looked
good.
in my T-Bird magazine, and it went up $200 on my door panels, and I paid $200 to have them professionally done by a good dude. So
That was probably better material.
yeah,
And Rex
they were
does good
about
work.
yeah they were about $500, and they went up to like $750 something like that just for the door panels, and that's without the armrests for the year of my car. So.
Yeah, I guess with hot rods, it's like my buddy used to tell me. He said, unless you live on an island, you don't need a boat. We used to buy boat parts, and they were expensive. So I guess it's kind of the thing. You don't really need a hot rod, but I guess it just means working extra hours. That's all. Because I'm not going to quit hot rod, and I'll get rid of everything else. I'll limit what I eat and everything before I quit hot rod.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's what they make Raymond for, right?
That's it.
In fact, carburetor
No,
should come with a couple of packages of Raymond in it just to give you hope, you know.
yeah, definitely.
I'm thinking
A
you need
pack
to
of hot dogs,
contact
you got a meal.
Meadowbrook with that idea. Like
A pack of hot dogs, that's a whole meal.
Yeah, throw in a free case of ramen noodles with carburetor purchase. Now you can tell your wife we don't have to worry about the groceries because they threw them in with the carburetor you blew the grocery money on.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to tell that conversation. That might not be one you want to. That might not go over too well. But she's really understanding.
63 Newport. Trying to think of what the Newport grill looked like. I had to I had to sell my 63. $440. Dodge 440. The car. It's the big car.
Yeah.
Had a 318 Poly in it.
Oh, those are good engines.
The engine on that thing, they're huge. They're probably one of the widest ones I think I've seen. And then they got that itty bitty little Carter 2-barrel on it. You can put your hand around the carburetor, touch all your fingers. Strangest looking thing.
It worked well.
Well, you know.
I looked for years for a 4-barrel intake for that, and I gave up.
Yeah, they probably didn't sell too many with 4 barrels, huh, BareRose?
I don't know if they did. I think they were all 2-barrel.
Yeah.
Lion made a aftermarket one for a little while, but now, good Lord, you find one of them. They went out of production in the early 90s, I think it was.
Yeah, they're rare.
So you find one on eBay, and good Lord, they want like $1,000 for them.
Yeah, it could definitely benefit from airflow, though.
Big time.
Yeah.
That was the problem with them Fords with them 351Ms. They were just so choked out.
Yeah.
And the potential was there, but they had such a restrictive induction system on them.
That was always Ford's problem, though. All with every of them, all of them.
Build it and
Yeah,
choke
just
it.
undersized.
Yeah.
Undersized the carb. Their exhaust sucks.
It's here. I just see.
Indiana Chris is in here. Hello, buddy.
And then the Fox body came out and took off. So, oh my goodness, you can get 302 parts like crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna hop off here and just be in the chat. So
Sure, it's good seeing you there, Cousin Mike.
I'm sure I'll see you again soon.
I'm sure.
Nice talking to you, buddy.
Yeah, later, Sam.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
I was trying to find that when you were saying restrictive. I had it. I just picked it up when I was cleaning the shop the other day. That binocular looking thing that they put in the 460 EFI intake it that choke it down to about 1.25 inches on both sides. Oh, there it is. Why doesn't my 460 breathe? Because we put this in the intake pipe. Just the difference alone of taking that out of there than it made and the way the truck run.
That's on that injected.
Yeah, that's on my 95. Yeah, as I said,
Yeah.
I look like binoculars. But they stuffed that in the air tube right before the throttle body. You see it neck's way down.
Uh-huh.
But it's hidden because it looks like it's just two little ones. But then they have them baffles on the backside. I don't know if that's for intake noise or they was trying to get more low end torque out of the motor by raising the port velocity.
Torque. Yeah. Junk.
I was just talking with a guy the other day, that he was a big diesel guy, and I had to look up the specs and show him. I was like, the 460s numbers in 95, the first year of the Power Stroke, I mean, they're pretty much identical power wise. I mean, yeah, everybody put tuners on the Power Strokes and woke them up, but factory truck to factory truck, they made about the same power. Like the diesel made about 25 more pound-feet of torque, but they were both about the same. They were about 275 horse that year.
Big block that didn't even make 300. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah. Well, how far is it? It's like 3 degrees. The timing's retarded on it from the factory, and
only 3.
I think it's 3 on that year. If you put an aftermarket timing chain on it, it picks up a lot just by that. Just fixing that. Well, it's probably for emissions on that, but I mean that truck pulls
exactly
good.
Why they did it.
It's just its happy spot. It don't care how much load you got on it. It just right around 2,800 to 3,200. It pulls. It just grunts and keeps pulling.
So Big Block's asking, you doing anything new to the Cutlass this winter?
Yeah, definitely. That's why I've been working 6 days a week, 9 hours a day to put some stuff back for it. I want to do little stuff that it need done. Like I said, the car's probably to the point now that I should put at least a 4-point cage or something in it to tighten the car up because the car makes the power. I mean, I just have to pad it good. Well, I know it's not really walking at this point, but it's gonna tear stuff up eventually. You just can't torque that. These G body chassis are a wet
Yeah.
noodle anyway when it comes to so that and I got that single 78 75 with a T4 on a 6 liter. It's just that's not enough exhaust wheel for a motor that big. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm probably gonna end up with like a big single, but I mean, I don't know packaging wise. I don't know. It'd be easier to do just put another of what I got on there, or put a big single on it. So I don't know. I'm still stuck on that. Which way I want to go with that? But either way, it's getting something before No Name next year. It'll have a turbo upgrade on it. Everything else is there. I don't have the airflow right now. Like I said because the car's relatively heavy, and with the cars running ET wise, by all the horsepower calculators says it's making around 650 or so wheel, which is about the limitation for this turbo, but it falls flat. It just doesn't make more above 5,000 RPM. It just quits pulling. So it's out of exhaust wheel. So something's going to have to be done. The fuel system, I got enough fuel system to probably support 1200 on E85. So I just need to put more turbo on it.
Have you ever messed with the centrifugals?
I've never, friends has had them. I just never been really a blower guy on it, just for the fact that I look at parasitic loss when it comes to the engine, and that means you can 10 pounds of boost on a turbo motor, you're going to have slightly more horsepower to 10 pounds of boost with a blower, and on that you're going to have less stress on the engine because it's not going to make that extra horsepower to overcome that drag of turning that blower.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, this the turbo thing, the price of a centrifugal Pro Chargers, they're like $9,000. So yeah, I'm lucky. I have like $4,000 in the car. I'm not going to go out and buy $9,000 supercharger for it. I mean, that's just.
I hear you. I totally hear you there.
Not when I got a $300 eBay turbo on there that's been on there for 2 years now and hasn't given me any grief at all. So, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So that would probably be the easiest to just be spend another $500 with the flange and another wastegate and just put twins on it and be done with it.
Another BRG.
Everybody seems to like it anyway, like that. That was the talk of it, the fact that it was built so cheap.
Yeah, those T-top cars, whew, they really move.
Yeah, you see the doors moving inside the jams when you hit bumps.
Yeah.
Just remember,
My
like,
mom had
the
a friend
K-car
that had a Camaro that, after it was starting, it was rough. But the passenger door, you hit a good sized bump and it would boop, pop open.
Yeah, I had a LeBaron, one of the K-car LeBarons, a guy gave me years ago, convertible. When you'd open the door, the door would drop about an inch, and you'd see the dash lurch forward as the door would drop. That was the one that talked to you. Your engine oil pressure is low when you're flying around a corner. That sweep away for the pickup. The young years argue with it. How can it be a door? How can my door be a jar? It's a door. It's not a jar. But it was fun. A guy, one of my dad's friends, he had it like sitting in his yard. The top was like completely ragged out on it. He's like, "Hey, you want the thing to play with it?" He's like, "Just take it." I took it. It was summertime, so of course I just put the boot over it, put the top down, just drove it for the summer, just of it, and scrapped it at the end of summer when it started getting cold. But it was junk. Typical convertible car. The floors were already rotted from it leaking all the time and being wet. So it was like an '84 and '85 LeBaron, non-turbo car. Wasn't nothing fancy, just a fun little summer car.
Yeah. Funnest
like my
car I
Ram
ever
Chargers.
owned was my 72 MGB. I love that little
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I was always big on the full size, all the convertible SUVs. My Ram Charger though was about. I had a bunch of like 78 to 80 Ram Chargers, and that was the thing. As soon as it got warm enough that you could tolerate having the top off, take that steel top off, put it away, and leave it off until you couldn't stand anymore in the fall.
Yeah, back years
Lots
ago,
of
I had
fun
a
with them though.
72 K5. So
Yeah,
full,
that's got the full removable. Yep,
and they're
those are cool. Yeah.
narrow and short.
Well, I never understood Dodge though. They had that full removable roof, but then they just put the pickup doors on there that had the full door frame on the top. That was my only gripe with the Dodge. They
And
had the
then
full
Nader
upper
got
window frame.
involved.
That was insane. Yeah, it took all the fun out of everything. That's how government usually works. Guys are having too much fun. We got to stop that. How dare you
what
have
was it?
fun?
What was that quote Reagan said? The most scary words in the English language
Yeah,
is "I'm
we're
from
from
the
the government.
government."
We're here to help.
Yep.
I'm here to help. Yeah, and that's
Uh,
definitely a scary thought. No, thank you. I will figure it out on my own. If I got to roll up in a blue tarp under a bridge somewhere, I'll get by without your help. Thank you. It's cities they don't realize they let them into their life, and then they got to control everything, what you do, and like these guys with this pot. Yeah, the states are legalizing, but the federal government. And then you realize you own a gun. You can't legally own a gun if you're using marijuana because it's against federal law.
yeah.
I mean, not that it matters. I think alcohol is probably just as dangerous as anything else, but they figured out how to tax it, so they're not concerned about it. I've seen far more families ruined by alcohol probably than anything else.
Yeah, it's like everything in moderation.
Yep, you can overdo anything except hot rod. Can't
Best
ever
thing
overdo
about
hot
hot
rod.
rodding is if you do overdo it, well, then you got something else to do.
Yeah, that's it.
How much
And everybody's,
horsepower
oh, you're
will a
talking.
rear end really take? You don't know until
Yeah,
you push it
I'm
over.
doing. Yeah, you're doing scientific research. And it's green. It runs on. I run on renewable fuel. On my part for the environment.
Hey, Andy. Good to see you, man. That was a really cool video you just did with David on that. How many CFM that little Carter 2-barrel take? That's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I've always wondered that.
yeah. Them guys are, man. That series there, it's interesting. And just it's an honor just to even be able to talk with Mr. Vizard on a chat. Just that man knows so much. He's a legend.
Oh man,
I just can't believe he just. It
I've
doesn't
always
matter what he
wondered
says.
on that. I don't. I kind of mentioned it in Uncle Tony's live when he was doing it. It would be really interesting to take that and then put a 2 to 4 adapter on it and stick it on there and do one pole and just see if that actually improves anything. And then put the 2-barrel
Yeah,
right back on it and send it.
yeah. See if the carburetor's a restriction or if it's the
Yeah.
actual intake that even minuscule gain. I mean, even if I guess if you gain 10 horsepower, it would be a gain. Yeah, that's definitely
Hey,
interesting
Travis.
though. That's a cool build.
Because that's a question I get asked all the time about carb adapters.
Yeah, I usually, like I said, when I get asked, but usually about going to from a 2 barrel and adapting to a 4 barrel, I usually tell them, pretty much your intake's going to be a restriction. There's just no way
Yeah.
around it. It's just not designed for a 4 barrel carburetor. But now, spacer plates, that well. That's a whole other story. Just spacing the carburetor up, you're increasing plenum volume, so that does have an effect.
I think it'd be a really good video for you. I think that'd be a lot of views right there. Because I can't think of many that have done it.
I know the guys around here, like I said, they carburate them GM 3.1s and like the front wheel drive cars. They put carburetors on them. They just cut a hole and they weld a 2 barrel adapter to the top of the plenum, and then you can straight wire, and that's how they run them in Derby. Man, it wakes them cars up though. With that 2 barrel setting up high on that plenum, it sounds like a completely different car.
I remember Offenhauser used to sell a 3-carb setup, tri-carb setup for the 206. The integrated log intake that's all part of the head. And you'd have to stick it on there and then cut and mill for the 2 extra.
Yeah, so you can put the hat on it for the extra carburetors. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
I never did one. I just seen the kit.
Yeah. No, we played with these little Suzuki motors, like for the Suzuki Samurais and the Geo Trackers and the Suzuki Swift and its American Geo Metro. They have a kit for the twin cam motors that puts 4 like motorcycle carburetors on it on the side. It wakes them motors up. It usually ends up with like a 40 horsepower gain on those little motors, which is a lot on a 1.3. But yeah, on them GM 3100s, they weld these to the intake. And it's just what they do. You weld that right on top of the intake plenum and hot wire the coil pack, and it'll fire the coils, and that's how they run them in the Derby.
Hey, 2X Jeff, what's going on?
What's up, 2 hacks?
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Your kid works over at Clay Smith.
Cool.
And they used his 350 from his Nova as their test mule, huh? Got 9 and Dyna poles on it at West Tech with Steve. Cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Offenhauser had an intake manifold that had an upper part you could swap quickly from 4-barrel to dual quad or 3 deuces. Smart idea. I think I remember that one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, whatever your needs are, the same lower, and just put whatever you need on top to support it.
Offenhauser, that's one that nobody really talks about anymore. Do you know who owns them now?
I think it might be part of the Holly Group. They might own the name.
Is it Holly?
I want to say it is. I can't say for sure. I'd have to look, but I believe Holly owns the name now. I know Holly bought a lot of performance companies there.
They pretty much own everybody now, except for Edelbrock.
Yep, that's pretty much the only 2 in the game. And then Edelbrock comes back with their better version of the Holly. So shots are fired again.
It's good. I like to see that competition.
Yeah, and that was cool though that because the rumors that they was not going to make carburetors, and then that they come out with new stuff. So that's cool to see that the technology's still there because it's still needed.
Yeah.
There's still a place for it. And yes, we do EFI on these because it's easier to tune and it's easier to on the fly. But it guaranteed a properly tuned carburetor will always make more
Always.
horsepower on this motor, and it doesn't matter. That's just the way it is. It's just drivability. The EFI is nice if you're going to use it on the street through a wide range of RPMs and speeds and temperatures and all of that. EFI is nice for that. You can't beat a carburetor for maximum performance.
And I'll admit that, if I was to play with power adders, I lean towards fuel injection then.
No, the tunability
Naturally
is
aspirated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, even like I said, power adders, even, look at the Hodgkins over there, Bill, Old Man Garage. What he does with carburetors. Look at that S10. That was a blow through setup.
Uh-huh.
And that was when, that truck was a contender in the no prep for a long time with a lot of heavy hitters on the street with just a small block and a carb and turbo. So
I've got a blow through for that. Quadrajet of all things.
There's nothing
But
wrong
it's
with
set
that.
up for a Buick V6.
That's an awesome little motor.
And it still runs, and it runs good, so I can't pull it off of there.
Yeah, that's understandable. I was just admiring that 3800 today. I got that Series 2 3800, that Monte Carlo line. That thing, it's grunt. That thing will just boil the tires from a stop sign. It just doesn't matter what. That's just one of the perfect motors. I mean, it just as it evolved, it just got better and better. And it's hard to believe where that motor started and how long ago that, when you trace the lineage of the 3.8 and the 3800 Series 2, when you trace it back, how far and everything that where it started and where it came, that AMC ended up with it, and then it back to Buick, and it's a wild story.
So Offenhauser's still Offenhauser?
Oh, they are?
I know the
That's great if
family's
they
been
are.
out of it for a long time. Fred sold the company, sold all of this stuff long before he died.
That's cool if they still are, though. I mean, if they're not, it's
Yeah.
nice to see a single company not being absorbed by a major corporation.
Fred Offenhauser, he was a neat guy. Dominated Indy, and I think he was only at Indy a couple of times. He wanted to be in his shop working. Neat guy. Read a lot of
all
stories
those
and
old
stuff
school,
on him.
all those old school hot routers, man. Vic Edelbrock, all of them guys, all the pioneers of what we loved. I seen that video where they was tearing down Ed Pink's engine shop because of the Olympics coming into LA. And it's just heartbreaking. That man's so sharp for his age. But it just, those are the legends that got us where we're at. And it's just, I never forget those guys. If it wasn't for those guys out there, and like Edelbrock, as a child, he said about his dad with hot rods and that, and his guys tinkering with them flathead Fords, and look what we've come to now. We owe them a lot.
What's going on, Jay Scruggs?
We owe them guys a lot, man. I know that. It's been a good 30 plus years of my life that I put into cars because of guys like that I was reading about the stuff they were doing in magazines, even as a kid. Just like, that's why I fell in love with this stuff. I mean, other than my family, this is my love. It's just my love of machinery.
Uh-huh.
And that's it. Like I said, my family, that's my first priority because that's my responsibility and that's part of my family and who we are. But after that, it's machinery. I mean, my shop shows it. Everything about me shows it. It's all I think about night and day.
Shop, yard, back pasture,
house, in the house. Why is there cylinder heads in the living room? Oh, I was looking at something, and which is really cool too. BareRose, because you're a woman. She knows about it too, so it's cool when they recognize that. Like, why is there cylinder heads? It's like, babe, I'm proud that you know that those are cylinder heads.
Why is there a carburetor on the dining room table? Yeah.
Yeah. And then my mom, her parents, her dad owned a junkyard since she was little. So like my mom, literally, it's funny because she'll tell these young kids like about stuff about their. She knows a lot for an older lady, and it's just funny about stuff. I mean, she's already called me just even a few years ago that she was out. She had a brake line on her Cavalier, went out, and I was like directed her to go in the hardware store and get a flat-headed tack, and she took the brake line off and put the nail and tightened it to drive the car home on three-wheel brakes. So my mom ain't afraid to get her hands dirty and work with it, and she's always supported everything I've done when it comes to cars. It was always behind it. Well, her and my dad. My dad taught me patience, but he's been gone since '99, so. But my mom's still here, and I cherish every day that I have with her.
Yeah.
But she's driven my Cutlass.
I hope you guys didn't get timed out.
My mom was the first person other than me to drive my Cutlass because I took another car into town and broke down, and my Cutlass was the only thing back at the garage that was running. I'm like, well, you're going to have to bring the Cutlass to show me. She's like, okay. She had a little problem with the shifter, but once she figured that out, she was down the road.
That 55 Ford that we built for my stepmom, I tried to get Dad, just put the shifter on the column, just use and we'll hook up the linkages, just make it super simple. Now he had to put the star shifter, I think it is, in it. You got to lift up on it it's got the trigger pull on that one.
Yeah,
she can't figure it out.
Yeah, mine's got the trigger pull. I think mine's it's a star shifter or a mega shifter, but you can pull up, and once you're in drive, you're fine. But if you pull it all the way back and low, then it'll go into ratchet mode. Then you have to walk it up to it, and it'll walk back up all the way into drive. But that's what I told her. I was like, just put it in drive, click it in drive, and go. You'll be fine. But she's done everything. We've had her. That's funny because she's like 4'11", and we've had her in jacked up trucks come before her. I mean, we go four-wheel at this local spot, and usually she's got my pickup truck and a trailer that will haul my buggy down there, and usually I'll have her drive my truck back so I don't have to leave my trailer overnight when we camp down there, and she'll take my truck and take it back to the shop for me. And she's definitely a trooper on it. And I say, when it comes to getting pulled with a chain, between me and her and growing up and everything, she's probably the best either for me to pull her or for her to pull me. We've done it so many times together that she only ever really messed up one time. Our Winnebago, the transmission went out of it. And we come down this long, steep hill, and that Winnebago has the like auxiliary vacuum boosters underneath the truck. So it was really hard to get it stopped. I did get it stopped without running into the back of the pickup truck, but I knew there was about 10 feet of slack in that rope. And I just seen the brake lights go out on the truck, and I heard her let the clutch out. And I just turned my head. I was like, oh, this is going to hurt. She just took off. She thought I still had it pulled tight. And I was like, wham, the bumper come off because it come off of the frame, caught the bumper, tore the bumper off. I'm sitting in the middle of this 4-lane highway. She was dragging me across it. Luckily, it's like 2:00 in the morning, so we're fine. There's nobody around. I'm like throwing the bumper in the bed of the truck, backing up, wrapping the chain around the leaf spring hanger. I'm like, here, let's try not to rip anything off the rest of the way. But I knew it was coming because I got it stopped without running into the truck, but I was standing on the brake pedal, pulling on the steering wheel with everything I had to get this thing stopped. Because this thing, This is on the 400 chassis, so it's got the 19.5 wheels there. So it's a heavy. It's 14,000 pounds. And like I said, I know there had to be at least 10 feet of slack in the tow rope though that coiled up there, and the truck. She had my half-ton Ford. It had a 306 in it with a 5-speed. But when I seen the brake lights go out, I knew it. I was just like, oh, turned my head away from the windshield because I figured something was coming back through the window at me. It's gonna hurt.
That's a good one.
Well, good times. But yeah, that's just the fun. That's the weird stuff that happened around there. My daughter, we was 4-wheeling, she was about 15, and somehow we used to go up in the dirt roads around her house when it snowed because we live in the mountains. And I'd let her drive. Her mom would ride with her, and she would drive. But she hit something somehow and tore the fender off. I'm out there, and I'm in the middle of the parking lot, and snow and going. I'm like, look at this. I said, how do you do this? And she's, I don't know. I didn't see. But she still talks about that stuff. But it's funny though because now, like my fiance I'm with now, if there's literally snow flurries, she don't want to drive anywhere because her mom doesn't like driving in the snow, and it has her terrified of driving in the snow. We'll be somewhere and there'll be 8 inches of snow outside, and the roads will be covered and everything. And my daughter will show up like in a Honda Civic, be like, well, "What's your sissy's problems?" Because I've had her out in the snow 4-wheeling in a truck since she was 14 years old, driving herself. She's like, "What's wrong with you guys? Just go out and go." My daughter's very independent. She took auto in high school. She graduated, got all of her certs, left that knowing that she went to college and became a nurse. But at least she
Really?
knows cars. She still, yeah, she likes to tinker with cars and all that. But and she kind of followed my path because I've always done construction or something. I never liked working on cars for a living because it takes the fun out of it when you want to work on them for
Yeah.
fun. And I think that was just her logic behind it. She goes and takes
Yeah.
care of people, and she tinkers
Totally
with stuff when
understand
she's
that.
there. Yeah. And then she was one of the people, she got sick with whatever that virus was, like in November of 2019. She was sick for like a month straight. But then she got over it, and then she never got sick again. She made a lot off of that though, because she worked in the COVID wings at the different nursing homes. She was working for a company that when people would call off, they would send her to the different homes to fill in. But man, she made bank that year because she wasn't afraid. It didn't matter. She would just go in and work with them, and which was nice too because I felt so bad for some of the people getting shut off from their families. And she would come home and tell me stories out of people that older people like just saying, they didn't even just no will to live because they couldn't see their family, couldn't do nothing. And it's just sad that we let things get to that point.
Hey, Eric, good to see you, man.
Oh crap! I guess BareRose. I can't stay on her too long, buddy. I slept like 3 hours last night. I drove to Beckley and back last night to pick up my girlfriend, get her because Amanda was with her dad in North Carolina because her aunt died. I met him halfway, so I drove like 800 miles yesterday between work and going and getting them last night. So I think I'm gonna
I
get
hear
ready
you.
to go in and get a shower and go to sleep early because tomorrow's the only day I don't work this week. So I might sleep in till 9 o'clock. So thanks for having me though, man. Good
No
talking to you.
problem. You're
Good seeing
welcome
you.
anytime.
Yeah, no, I'll pop in. I try to pop in for a couple of minutes every night. Good night, everybody. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for watching the videos. And we'll see everybody later, man. Good night, guys.
I'm sure you all know, but he's White Trash Motorsports. Go over and check him out. Whoa. Now kind of lonely. Jeez. Now what? Yeah, when we deal with snow around here, yeah. If you don't like driving in the snow, you don't go nowhere. But when it's snowing like this, I tend to avoid Idle Falls. We try to do all of our shopping in other towns. A lot of people from out of state that have moved into there, and I'm not worried about driving in snow, but I'm worried about everybody else. Oh, wow. Here's something. Hey, hubby. Wow. I'll be dadgum. Hey, hubby. Wow. I'll be dadgum. Oh, it sounds like you got a browser open. Wow. The YouTube browser. Mute it. There you go. Yep. Now you're going. How's it going tonight, man? Oh, we can't hear you though. How's that? Oh, I still can't hear you. Try that. Oh, no, I see you're muted there. You got your mic muted. This live stuff's a little tricky to get the hang of your first time. Hang in there, man. You're getting it. Oh, no, still can't hear you. If it gets confusing, just you close the YouTube one and just use the StreamYard one, the one that you're logged into here, and then just close the YouTube one. Whoa! Oh, lost you! Ah, come back! Sometimes that's a little confusing to get the hang of when you first enter into these. Hope you're still out there, hubby. There we go. How's that? There we go. How's that? Oh, sounds like you got your YouTube browser or the YouTube browser open and going. Okay. No echo there. Okay. But I can't hear you. Don't you just love computers? Have you got a mic set up? Looks like he's trying. He's trying his hardest. Oh man, that is a beautiful car behind you though. Oh, nothing like the looks of a Tri-Fi. And a post at that. Friday, 5 p.m. The roads were glare ice everywhere. I drove home 25 miles an hour. Yeah. I know you're trying there, hubby. You got your mic open on the StreamYard page? Okay, sounds like we got something. No. We could do sign language. I don't know sign language. Try that. Try that. Okay, now you got the YouTube browser going. Try that. Okay, now you got the YouTube browser. Yeah, just mute that one, the YouTube one, and then it should just transfer over through the StreamYard one, the YouTube one, and then it should just transfer over through the StreamYard one, the YouTube one, and then huh. I'll keep talking here so we can try to get her figured out here. Huh. When you first logged in, did you hit here so we can okay, now you got the YouTube browser, just mute it. Hit here so we can okay, now you got the there, okay. But it cuts your mic on here. Hmm. I think I hear you. No, I don't hear you. Try logging all the way out and then rejoining in again. Maybe that'll help. And then when you first log in, click the button that says allow mic and camera access. Hey, Don, how's it going?
Hey, man, I see hubby over here is struggling.
He's trying hard, man. He's trying real hard.
Remember, a week or two or three ago, I built a workbench upstairs. I got a spare bedroom. That way I can work heads or something, over the winter.
Uh-huh.
The wife set up laptop, and she had my phone as a hotspot. And, by the time we had it, the reverb 3 different directions. We had it hooked up to the TV, so took a while to figure that one out.
I get lost on this electronic stuff. I get so totally lost.
Wow, me too. Wow, saying this YouTube thing, I noticed I've got iMovie on my phone, so it's like, hey, I actually do have the capability to make videos, which I've been learning. I've been putting out quite a few lately.
You've been doing pretty good, man. Where you at now?
Subscribers 162.
162? Not bad.
Wow, we was at 149 yesterday.
And they'll go up and down.
Oh, I know. It's what was it? What was that? There a couple weeks ago, the Buffalo had that lake effect event. There was a guy on there, a snowplow driver. He was live all day. He got like 2,000 subs in one day, 2,400.
Wow.
That's how it worked. But there's a lot of he was letting people get subs in the chat because he's a struggling because he only had like 200-300 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And there's a group of those people, but I got like 15 subs that day, and then next day like 9 of them were gone. It's like I kind of figured that would happen. Because when I go to sub somebody, I always like and comment, and that way the algorithm knows I'm legit.
Yeah, knows you're a real person, not a spam bot that's just latching on to somebody.
That's
in fact, you guys were my first commenter.
Well, that helps the algorithm, they say.
That was way back, I think, on my Y Block series. Long time ago.
Forever and a day.
before that, we just talked back and forth in the chat and stuff, and like Uncle Tony's and then Jason's every Tuesday. Met you
Yep.
guys over there.
I was Jason's. I remember when Jason had two people in his. It was him and his son. You know. It was. I found him one night. It's like, hey man, you know, and we've been buddies ever since. It's just
He's a great guy.
This whole community. Well, it's just fantastic. I was hoping Wilburn was going to give us a number last night, but it was the wrong set. It was the wrong kind of live for him to.
He said there was something on the orange paper, but you had to pause it and zoom it in.
I couldn't zoom mine in that far. I didn't even see anything on the paper, let alone read it.
That paper's a perfect color. It's orange like a carrot. You know, he keeps it dangling out there.
I didn't even notice it hanging on the rack back there for the longest time. I was looking at all the cool cars. That was a good live last night, though. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
He's a storyteller. He's got cool stories to tell.
I've been working so late, though, that I've been catching everybody's live just as they're ending them.
Yeah, you're different time zone. Are you Central?
Or Mountain.
Mountain. Okay, you're 2 hours off. So it's only 7:30 for you. So.
Yeah.
What time does the sun set there right now?
It starts getting dark about 4:30.
All right. Well, because that's what our sunset today was. It was right at 5. Wait a minute. I don't know, because when I figure it up, we got for hunting season, which is now over. Good. I can sleep past daylight. You know.
That's a pretty good sized little buck you got there.
That was my son got that. That was the second day.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and back over here where we're at, there's no reception. If you know, you're lucky at best to get a text out. And he texts me, he's like, I got an 8-point, and that's all he told me. It's like, you know, I knew where he was, so I ended up. We got a deer cart this year. My brother Brian, he bought it last year because a guy over there had one. It's a little tandem axle deer cart, a lot better than dragging a hide off of one. But we got to use it this year, so it was money well spent. Oh, here we go. Let me introduce myself.
What's your channel name? There you go.
Like, that's not walking in, he's walking out. Jesus.
So what made you think of doing the 5-barrel? I've always wanted to ask you about that.
It was my uncle's build. I bought it that way. I bought that car. It was running, driving. When I brought it home, I had never did anything to it. I just kept it running until I got this concrete pad, and now I got it blown apart.
But that seems to work okay, right?
Yeah, I'm curious what the pistons and everything look like, you know, because that 4-barrel doesn't start kicking until about 3,000 RPM. But then it comes alive, makes you wonder what a second 4-barrel will do. Come on, cat, go away. I've never said yes to any animal on this that comes in the house, and she got me that one for my birthday. I think it's some kind of cruel joke, and it worked.
Mine, he just showed up.
Come on, man. It's been since day one. When it was a kitten, it was cool because he'd lay on my arm and sleep, and you know, and now she still lays on my arm and sleeps. I think it's cat's mental to some extent. Maybe I'm just the chosen one.
There you go.
The Don.
But that's a regular 2x4 intake, right? and just
Yeah.
adapted it down.
Yep. My uncle, he made an adapter plate. Man, was it crude. He didn't even try it. He drilled a hole for, he drew the hole for it, and then he just drill bit it so he could knock it out. It had all, it looked like a little gear. It was so crude. And it'll be 2 winters ago now. I took it off of there and I cleaned up that plate. I really hogged it. It looks like a funnel now. But it seems to run a little better. I took the 1 barrel that was on the slant and I put it as the 5 barrel. I just switched 1 barrels and they both seem to run better. So I got lucky in that respect. Learned how to rebuild a 1920 Holly. Kind of. Then the Edelbrock.
What Holly is it that's on there?
Oh, that's the 1 barrel. 1920. Both 1920s. Well, that 1 barrel is that was the original 1 barrel off the slant that came with the car.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's a numbers matching 1 barrel on that. Just can't get away.
I remember seeing I think it was an Offenhauser. It was for a flathead, but they called it the slingshot. And it was an adapter come up, and then you put 2 1 barrels on it, and it kind of funneled down like that.
That'd been neat to see.
I think it was called the slingshot, if I remember right.
I don't know. It's what I got. I'm saying my uncle was the hot rodder. I remember, because I knew he had this car for like 15 years. And we always heard about it when we went to family reunions, because I'm in PA, he's in Ohio, and home is in West Virginia. And I always heard about this 440 Valiant, stories, this and that. Never thought about it. And then, 8 years ago, my older brother was talking to him about buying it, and I kind of knew he was blowing smoke up his ass. And I talked to my uncle. He's like, if you're getting rid of it, if it falls through, I'll take it. Which is, he wanted to keep it in the family. And it turns out saying he has 2 of them, and then saying I got both of them now.
I remember that 46 Plymouth Coupe I did. It had a 1 barrel Zenith carburetor on it.
See, you'd have to talk to my uncle about that shit. He'd probably know what you're talking about. Do you cruise mainly on 1 barrel and hit it to kick in 4? Yes, Doug. 1 in town, 4 on the highway. Pretty sluggish out of the hole. Once you get the tires broke loose, though, you can let it eat. It's just getting them. That 245 gear is a little tall but it's what we got to work with. Just hoping for an early spring.
Predators, long time ago. A good friend of my dad was running 2 of them on his 429. But I remember they were temperamental. He was always tinkering with them. Kind of strange looking. They're square.
No way. I'm getting lucky. Go play.
And good Lord, that was back in late 80s.
Late
Yeah, it
80s.
had to have been the late 80s.
Late 80s, I was starting my work career. Graduated in 83, moved to Mississippi for a year, come home and met the wife, and here I go. I got to think this. It's been so long ago, I forget the math. That was in 90. We met in 90.
That setup would get pretty good mileage.
It's not bad. It gets 15, 16. Where did I go? Oh, 4 or 5 years ago. Ever since I got this first Valiant, we used to go out to my uncle's every year. We turned it into a thing. Wife hated it because I always come back with, more than I went with. I have this thing for cast iron. I don't know what it is. A couple years ago, I come back a set of 413 heads. They need a little work, but I guess Dizzy wants them. He's got a set of aluminum slots he's willing to trade.
Oh, there you go. See, they were worth something.
If I'd have known that, I would have took them this year.
You go along and take off, did it?
She was already gone. She's playing.
Not when I came down the steps. I stopped.
Yeah.
Yep. That's common.
Make sure you let them know buck stop down.
Let's see on that
Oh, yeah.
one. That one's not on the transmission, is it?
Reverse light. I put in a toggle switch.
You too.
I hardwired it right to the fuse box. Actually, it turned into a backup light because here in PA, because I had it licensed as a regular car back when I got it because I didn't want any restrictions. Means I had to get it inspected and all this. And backup lights, you're only required one light. You don't need a pair. So I hardwired one for the license plate light, and the other one I put on the toggle switch. So it was two birds. Amazing how simple the electrical is in a Valiant. Got like 3 wires going to the rear of the car. That's it. Turn signal.
Besides the gas tank in the trunk.
Wow, that's fuel system. That's a different story. Got to run new fuel lines on this. My uncle run the fuel line through the passenger compartment, which is a bad idea. But he didn't want nothing underneath to get hung up.
Like a Fox body.
Brake lines was the only thing he didn't. But yeah, that fuel line's got to go external. We'll have to do something about that.
You're going to run hard line all the way?
Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to attach it, but I'll figure something out. Self-tappers, they go a long way. Well, because this floor, I started cutting into it because it's structural at this point.
Uh-huh.
And I was going to do it nice and this and that and everything, but it's like I'm going to weld what I can and I'm going to self-tap the rest of them. I'll grind the ends off, maybe give them a little weld to, I don't know. I'm cleaning it up, painting it and everything underneath. I got all the inner fenders scraped. They're down to paint. Got 3 out of the 4 painted. I got that chassis saver. I did from the end of the tunnel back. I got that all cleaned up. A bunch of undercoating. I didn't realize how much of a structural part undercoating is to a car. It gives it that third dimension on.
Especially on Mopar.
Makes me wonder, this car was already loud, makes me wonder how loud it's going to be now with all the undercoating gone.
This Dart's the first Mopar that I've gotten this deep into. And boy, it shocked me.
Well, there's a lot of
Ford and GM stuff. There's
a lot of facets to fixing the car.
Yeah.
I was saying, like, you got the floors. That's one thing. You want to saying cleaning up the undercarriage. That's a project, man. I'm glad we had a late or winter or summer lasted as long as it did. I was taking advantage of them nice days.
I know on my Ford on that 58 and even Mustangs even. When you look at their pinch welds and their, spot welds in there,
Mhm.
they're almost stacked on top of each other. They're just boom, 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 boom on a Ford. On a Mopar, you got one here, and maybe one here. That blew me away. I've heard all of you guys talk about, the bean counters would always get involved with them and, cut things down. I never knew it was that bad until I got into this one.
Hey, Jason.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Hey, was your ears a burning?
I was out in the garage welding them. You could probably tell my face is probably filthy. I was out.
We just thought it was a 2-day growth.
Yeah.
That's what I got going. Scruff.
Right.
That's YouTube automotive makeup.
It is. It's automatic for sure. Yeah. How you guys doing?
I was
Figured
just
I'd
chit
stop in
chatting.
for a minute.
So why'd you get welded in there?
I got the front fenders on it, and I got the core support on it. Rob got me this big honking aluminum radiator for it, so I had to cut a lot of the cross member out. So then I wanted to keep my hood latch and all that, so I had to make a new structure, and then I got the radiator mounted. So
How's it around the steering box?
yeah,
You're good?
yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me. Yeah, I had to recess it into the frame a little bit. I notched the frame in and moved the steering box in, so now it's a lot better shot, for everything to get in there. So
Those
yeah,
S10s, that steering box can be a real.
It's so tight in those things. It's everybody's like, oh, it's the same under the hood as a G body or whatever, and it's like, no, it's a lot narrower.
It's a lot different.
Yeah, but it's getting there.
And then the A-arms that go like this and they
Mhm.
pinch up right
Yep.
where your header's got to be.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. And then the cross member, I had to notch it so the oil pan would fit. And yeah, it's been a job, but it's getting there.
Way cool.
How much notching did you have to do on
On the frame.
the? Yeah.
I
Jeff,
mean,
did you plate it?
It's probably like 8 inches. I probably cut 4 out of it. Yeah, I plated it back in.
Well, that's what makes me wonder what my K member is going to look like when I pull this motor out, because the way my uncle works on stuff, it'll run, but doesn't mean it's right.
It's gonna have a bunch of carriage bolts in it. Right.
You don't know, man.
He loves those things.
I don't know what it is with the carriage bolts. He must have had.
He just had a big mess of them, probably. I don't know what the deal is with my camera. It's like a really wide angle tonight. Oh well, I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt it, Paint Namer. I wouldn't doubt it a bit. Especially after watching what LB Bruin went through when he was restoring that 59, 58 DeSoto. Looked like Christine, but it's a DeSoto, not the Fury.
Yeah. Hey, Wendy. Hey, Ari.
Yeah, Chryslers, they're Mopar's different.
Mohawk. Everybody's saying hi to me, huh? I wasn't even paying attention. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't even have the comments on. You think I'm new at this stuff or something, huh? I have been off.
Yeah,
for
and
2
I'm
weeks.
lagging over here,
Oh yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I was sick, man, for like 2 weeks. I didn't have a voice. That's why I didn't do my lives. I just kind of hung out in the background,
Like I was telling Don here, I've been working so late that I've been catching everybody's lives at the very tail end too.
Yeah, right. That's why I looked at the clock. I'm like, crap, I wanted to try and get on BareRose tonight. And I looked and you were already been on for like 100 minutes. I'm like, shit, he's liable to shut her down.
Ready to go shut the door on you.
Yeah, it's happened before. I mean,
Yeah,
hey, how you doing,
you
guys?
get in there
Hi, bye,
just in time to say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I get it. It happens to me too.
Yeah, there's always tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, and then I mean, BareRose is on the farthest, time zone from all of us. So, what are you, 2 hours behind us? 3 hours?
Mountain.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're Mountain Time. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Eastern. Yeah, you're 2 hours behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like what, almost 8 o'clock there?
Yeah,
Yes.
10 more minutes.
Yep. Yeah, it's almost 10 here. So, yeah.
And I think Dust Devil goes on at 8:30, I believe, tonight.
Does he?
I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
And I got it set up so we'll just redirect right over to him when I'm done.
Gotcha.
That's kind of a neat feature. I kind of
Yeah,
like that.
I haven't figured that one out yet. I'll have to fiddle with it.
Come
Is
to
it in
find
your
out, it's
settings?
automatic.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Really?
You have the person that you're redirecting to has to have it set up so they'll accept your redirects.
Oh, okay. So they set it up and it just, everybody in
Yep.
this chat automatically, oh, that's cool.
As soon as I hit end broadcast, it just.
Wow.
You show up over there.
I
Yeah.
should try and get Eric, when Eric's doing his meme show, because he's always kind of overlapped me.
Yeah, about 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, so
Well,
I could see if he could send his folks, which usually most of them come over anyway. But I know last Tuesday, there was a bunch of guys on Tuesday night. Like, I think Square Body stuff and somebody else. I don't remember, but yeah, there was a couple on. I was like, well, good, somebody's on, because I felt like shit. Like, just was not well.
Did Hunter make it back?
Yeah, he's back. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he got back right around Thanksgiving. Yeah. So he's been working with me, working with my son-in-law. He takes his welding test.
Oh, Dust Devil already is.
Hey, Dust Devil. Oh, he is already live. Okay. All right.
Oh, that's right, because he's one over. Time zones, yeah.
Yeah, he's in between us, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Yeah, so he's been on for.
I was
30
thinking
minutes.
Mountain.
Yeah.
Well, he was 8:30 or 9:30.
9:30.
35 or something like that. He was supposedly.
Let me see if I can.
Always good to see you, Lynn.
Oh, what am I doing?
Well, now that deer season's over with. Well, rifle season.
Rifle, yeah.
I never cared for rifle season much, but too many pumpkins out there in the woods.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of choice on other than state land to hunt, so we got late season. That's when I have my fun.
Yeah.
There ain't nobody out there.
Yeah. Well, you get roadkill too, so you'll be fine. Especially now that it's cold, huh? Man.
We have a real late one here that goes all the way through January, but it's pretty much buttoned up now.
Well, we get like a late rut, which is, phase 2 of the heavy.
Mm-hmm.
But
now the snow geese are out, so yeah, you'll hear gunshots all around my house here now.
Yeah, around the lake and stuff. Yeah.
All right.
It's early. Yeah.
Do you have?
Yeah, that's what I got into.
Specific. Yeah.
Well, that's our late
guy, isn't he?
Late season here in Pennsylvania. Muzzle loader. It's primitive ignition. Caps and flint. No percussion caps or primers. No open sights. Whole new animal. It's tough. It's primitive. When they say primitive, it ain't no joke.
It's a whole different animal. Like, unless you've got like an inliner or something, which they're still. It's just the burn is so slow. It's like when you pull the trigger, it's like.
Well, depends.
It pushes. It's a push, not a kick.
Yeah, right. It just kind of, yeah.
Well,
people freak out. Oh, 50 caliber? Oh, yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah.
54?
Yeah.
Oh.
58? Yeah.
Mine are both 50s. I've got an inline, which is you can use a 209 primer and a scope, which is just a 50 caliber single shot.
Yeah, right. Pretty much.
But the flintlock, whole different.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got a 72 Brown Bess, 72 caliber.
Wow. I don't know what.
Good
We
thing
got
it's only a single shot.
we got one of my great grandfather's like old Kentucky long rifles. I don't even know what. It's got to be huge. It's a flintlock.
But a
I've
7mm
never-
mag kicks harder than that thing, than that 72.
Does
Oof.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's a push.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like shooting a Weatherby or a Win Mag or something, you know, or a
My
or a
son has 300
Grand,
Win
you know,
Mag. It's
M1
like,
or
look at
something.
this. You look at the bullet and you cringe. You know, you feel sorry for the thing in front of it,
Damn bullets. Yeah.
looking screaming.
It's like, shook. When you open the breech, the shell falls out like, Jesus.
Smoldering.
And that thing's smoothbore too, so
Yeah.
just
right.
round ball.
Yeah, just an old round bow. Right.
Well, my
The
flintlock.
hardest thing is the flintlock because you get that big off to the side and everybody.
Right. Yeah. Right. They
No.
want to.
You got to learn
Yeah.
to ignore that.
Yeah.
I'm usually watching to sit. What I hate is when you have a hang fire. It's like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we don't
Uh-oh.
talk
You're
about that.
hold on target.
Yeah.
And then you start cussing.
Hey Ed, good to see you.
What's up, Ed?
Ed,
Dean landed. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in Boise, I used to teach primitive and archery,
Did you?
bow hunting
I
with
love bow
for
hunting.
the fishing game.
Mhm. Yeah, I used to love it. Our fishing game, especially when the kids were little, man, we'd take them out there and those guys would teach them how to fish and clean fish, and we get to teach them how to bow, you know, and camp out there and stuff. Then they got old and turned into assholes. They don't like playing with me no more. No, I just play. They do. Yeah, Hunter was out there helping me clean the garage, actually. Yeah, he takes his welding test for GE, the aviation plant here, Tuesday. So hopefully he'll be
Tuesday?
he'll have a good TIG welding job. Yeah, they just built this humongous plant over here. I mean, it is a monster. I don't even know what all they're gonna make in there, but
maybe he'll be able to tell you.
yeah, maybe. Yeah. So what are you working on there, Mr. BareRose? I saw you had some small box or something you were fiddling with.
Cleaning shop.
That's what I did today for
I'm
like
still in the midst
6
of
hours, and then I finally got to work on the truck for about 3. And then I looked, it was like 9:30. I'm like, shit, I need a break. I worked harder today than I did at work. We got this truck on skates though, so we can move it around. Because I want to start welding metal in the bed sides and stuff. I want to start doing some more body work on it.
Yeah, I picked up some of those Harbor Freight wheel dollies.
Mm-hmm.
The bucket style, you know,
Right.
the cheap ones.
Ooh, what was that?
They're not too bad.
Did you see that?
That was a glitch in the matrix.
Yeah, it was like weird.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Let me make sure I'm plugged in.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah. It was me. I don't know what it was. It just went, bah. I don't know. I think it was a power surge. I've got those, the ones from Harbor Freight, just the wooden ones for hauling furniture or whatever, the small ones.
Yeah.
Shit, 4 of those will hold that truck. It's fine. So.
As long as you just ease it down on them,
Yes.
they work great.
Yes. Yes. And
I got a
what's
lot of
nice-
motors sitting on them, motors
Yeah.
and transmissions.
Yeah, I
even.
got an old Windsor motor sitting on one. I
Mhm.
thought that thing was just going to smash it, you know, because they're fairly heavy. But
I got 2 of them that are busted from when you know you're on the cherry picker and you're trying to ease it and it
yeah, just that little like a karate chop. I get it. But what's really nice is with them under there, it's like perfect height to get under it. Like I could get transmission out, you know, everything.
Always a plus.
Yeah. I got some cool traction bars for it. I got some of those Calvert Caltrack bars.
Caltrack?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a really super good deal on them because I couldn't afford to pay full price. But yeah, a buddy of ours was doing an S10, and then he about mid-ship he decided he wanted to go with an old G body, which I don't blame him because there's a lot more room to put and he's doing an LS. You know, he called me. He's like, "Man, I paid $500 for these things." He's like, "Give me $300 for them." I'm like, "All right, I'll be there in a minute." You know? Half price, I'm good.
I am going to build one. I've been saying it for the past 8 years, 9 years now, but I am.
Build what?
What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to take that 48 Ford frame that I got
Mm-hmm.
and just make a 4-wheel easy run stand out of it. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like you. I really have wanted to make one for a long time. So
Especially when you're selling used motors and stuff like that, you
yeah,
know.
right. Yeah, especially as much as you wheeler deal. Yeah, you know, hey, let's chuck this baby up and fire it up. You know,
Fire it up. There you go.
rip tater chip. Yeah.
Because if you don't hear it run, you know, you're pretty much buying a core,
Mm-hmm. That's
no matter what.
that motor that's in the truck, man. I had it for a couple years, and I had never heard it run. I didn't know. And then, funny story though, when I was Thanksgiving, we had Thanksgiving at my daughter's house, and hey, Bub, what's happening, Bub? I found the original owner of the engine. It was a guy that worked with my son-in-law. He came to eat. He's kind of like a single guy, and they're like, "Hey, you don't mind if I don't even remember his name, Jeff or whatever." And we got to talking, and he's like, "Yeah, that was my spare engine for my. He's got some weird car, like a little Miata or something that's got an LS in it, like something super fast, you know." He was like, "Yeah, that was a good engine. That was my spare." I was like, "It runs. I fired it up a couple weeks ago, you know."
Yeah, but I keep using them.
Yeah, you do use them a
They're
lot, don't you? Yeah.
they're perfect for everything.
Yeah. It's like we need the front frame section of something, and then like one wheel on the back, so we can just kind of, you know, tricycle it.
Camaro, Firebird, Nova, Trans Am. Yeah.
We need like a little Toyota pickup truck frame or something, you know, rip the body off of it, and then.
That's why I was thinking that 48 Ford, because it's a straight axle anyway.
Yeah.
And it's a 1-ton.
Mm-hmm.
So the kingpins and the spindles are way too big to match up to anything. So
yeah, they're probably too heavy that you really wouldn't want
Yeah.
to use it on a. I mean, like a hot rod, but you wouldn't want to use it for like, you know, straight rag racing or anything.
half-ton stuff, I can convert that, but
Mm-hmm.
even 3/4, we've converted a few of them straight axles, but
Have you?
1-ton, eesh,
Man,
that's a lot of work.
I want to do a straight axle gas or something one of these days. That's my next. I think that's my next project. Is I want to build a straight axle something. I'd like to get an old Ford truck. Is what I'd like to get.
Now come on over.
I'm sure you got one. I always thought
Chevy,
about,
Ford, or Dodge? Which one?
You know what? I could give a rip less. I don't, you know, I'm not picky. I like everything. You guys know that. It's like my dad was a Chevy guy, and then he got pissed off at me when I built my Ford, and then, you know, I got real good at it, and then I got rid of that one. I mean, I own everything. I have a Dodge truck. My wife has a Ford. You know, I've got a Dodge. I've got this Chevy truck that I'm building now, and I just bought. I got rid of the old Jeep, and I bought a Honda Accord to drive back and forth to work because I drive so far now to work. So yeah, I'm not picky. I could give anything. Like I said, just a neat straight axle would be cool. The one I was really fond of was the old Econoline vans. Like, I thought those were so cool. I thought those were so cool.
Yeah, drop a V8 in one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to put it in the back. the pickup truck one, you know, the one with the back cut off. Like,
Uh-huh.
Who was that? Old Bill Maverick or whatever had one. Was that a Ford or was that a Dodge? That might have been a Dodge, actually.
Was the
Maverick.
Dodge still called the A10?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah.
Just like the van?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you
There's
could
a
get a
guy
Econoline
in.
van and then you could get an Econoline pickup truck, correct?
Yeah.
Just had the back cut off, yeah.
I
Yeah,
always
so-
call them transporters because they kind of look like the Volkswagen transporter.
They did look
The
like
bus.
the Volkswagens. Yep. Yep.
That was.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The Volkswagen was cool though. The sides,
Jason's blended family
you could
garage.
unhook them and they
That's
would
it.
fold down.
Yeah. Yeah, the size, right. And then they could load stuff in. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get a full sheet of plywood in there.
See what Dean said. Jason's blended family garage Inc. That's me.
I'm with you, BareRose. That's how I judge a car, is how big of a sheet of plywood I can fit in the back of it.
That's right.
Amen.
Everything of mine turns into a truck.
Dude, this Honda, the back seat folds down, and it's a two-door, which is kind of odd, but the back seat folds down, and the trunk is huge, and then the back seat folds down. I'm like, man, I can get a lot of shit in here. You know? I get my engine hoist in here. You know? I got to set a bed up in here. Take a nap.
That's the way it was when we got her van. It had to have the stone go seats. It's-
Oh,
it had to
yeah,
lay flat.
absolutely. Yep. Yeah, when we had a minivan, that's what we had to have too. Excuse me. Well, my wife has a Flex, and the seats fold down, up into themselves, just like the van does. And dude, we've hauled like big, those big folding tables you rent for like, buffet or parties and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, we've had that thing loaded.
Saying it doesn't even matter if I can close the hatch as long as I
Yeah.
can get it in.
Yeah, as long as it go in there.
Oh, Monday we got to go get this tree stand out of the wood. I got to, saying it's all framework, but it's got a hatch don't close on that.
Yeah.
Even at highway speeds, that hatch don't do nothing. It's all dead air back there anyway.
Yeah. Right.
You just
Yeah.
hear noise different because it's coming through the back.
Yeah. Like you don't get the exhaust smell or anything, so yeah, it doesn't matter.
If you can make it to Idaho, Scarlett, I don't have a power wagon, but I've got the truck and a town wagon. It's got a 318 in the truck. I'd sell both of them for $1,500. Take them both.
57 Power Wagon, yeah.
And I got the nose to convert it, the nose and hood to convert it to a 55.
Is that the old truck you go out sometimes when you're?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty neat old truck.
See, Ari's saying that I'd love the Apache 8-foot bed.
Yeah, Ed said that
Stack it up.
Bill Maverick was a A100 Dodge pickup. Yeah, that thing was cool. I got to see him a couple times when I was a kid.
Crap.
Yeah.
One of these days, if I get around to it, I'll finally build one of them.
You have a nice collection. One of these days, I want to come out and tromp around in there and look at it for sure. But you had a Aussie Ford Falcon sedan. Wow, that's cool.
Claps back when you drove it hard. I think we've all had that. The busted seat.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, you're in the back seat, trying to hold on to the wheel to get
Especially
back
my
up.
fat ass. I'm hard on him anyway.
The old 3 on the tree, swinging the tree. Oh,
Yeah.
man, that brings back memories.
Man, I can't tell you how many people I've worked with over the years. They get into those things and they're like,
They all go this way, huh?
yeah.
They grab
go.
it this way. Yep.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's like, no, this way. Yeah.
And then it's bouncing and they're bouncing it in reverse.
Like,
And then there's
Grab it
no
like this,
synchro in first, so
back
they
it
got
down.
to stop,
yeah.
then get it in first again and start all over. Yeah.
Remember when the did you ever I
Roll
had
your
this happen.
hand over.
Yep. Yeah, roll your hand over. Right. It's like a motorcycle. Yeah.
And just push
Yep.
it in gear. It
Yeah.
goes right
Oop.
in.
Yep.
It's
I
pretty
remember I
smooth.
worked on this Volkswagen one time, and Volkswagens were weird. They had weird transmissions, and it was a standard shift, but it didn't have a clutch pedal. You
Yeah.
push your hand down on the shifter. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Dude, I stalled
Ah.
that thing like 19 times trying to pull it in the shop. And everybody's just fucking dying laughing. I'm like 17, 18 years old. I'm like, I'm like, I just learned how to drive a stick like last week. And then finally, my buddy Daryl, he comes out and he's like, all right. He's like, this is something transmission. He says, just put your hand on it, put it in gear, and he's like, just let up. And I was like, how is it that easy?
Mopar had a version like that back in the early 50s,
Yeah.
late 40s. Kind of an automatic clutch.
Mm-hmm.
It
There
was a
was a
standard
lot of-
transmission with a torque converter on it. Weird.
Yeah, that's what Daryl said. He said it was like vacuum actuated or something. Like it would just slowly push the clutch in for you. I was like, wow.
And they
that
were
was-
bad.
Yeah.
They were bad. Every
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of them
yeah.
was in the junkyard.
Yeah. Now I remember I did an exhaust on one. I didn't pull the car in, and it was an automatic one. I was always used to them being standard. So I cut they had the little box, and then the little mufflers came off the little, I guess it was a collector or whatever. So I just cut that off, and then I would be able to get to the bolts in the head because they were always a pain. I cut the transmission cooler lines when I did that, and I didn't realize it until I started it up and go to back it out, and it's just like, it's just like, whoops. Yeah, it was hydro
Yeah, it was
drive or
something
something
like
like that
that.
hour. Yeah, it was weird. Well, and then
And then they stuck it in a car that had what, like 5 pounds of torque?
yeah, nothing. Yeah, 1600 cc is like 24 horsepower. Yeah. I mean, I want one. They're the coolest cars
Yeah.
around. But like your dad's the Doodlebug, man, I love that thing. I've been wanting to make something like that for years.
Of course, there's very little Volkswagen there.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of what I want to do. I want to do like a just make a frame and then put the
Yeah.
convertible shell on the back, and then just have it open, and then an engine in the front, whatever.
Oh, like a SoCal?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Have it be, it'd be rear-wheel drive, but just like an old hot rod in the front, but just no top, and then the VW tub on it, a V bucket's what I would call it. But
we tell everybody that's how you put passing gear in a Volkswagen.
yeah, for real, and coolant. Yeah, that's a cool car though. I like that one. We're talking about weird transmissions, not to keep everybody, but the Tempest. Remember the Tempest had
Oh,
the
good Lord, yeah.
transmission on the diff? Yeah. It was like the engine and the clutch, and then the drive shaft, and then the transmission was on the differential. That was freaking crazy. Or maybe even the clutch was back there too. I don't remember exactly. I only saw a
Tempest
few
and
when I was a young man.
wasn't there one other one that did it? Tempest is what everybody found it in, but
Mhm.
I think there was one other Buick
Probably.
Starlight or something like that had it in it too, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably right.
It's kind of neat watching Dallas is on, that one of his.
Yeah, and I've always been fond of Buicks. I mean, I'm fond of everything, but yeah, Buick was probably one of the first V8 engines I was ever really interested in, because I like the cylinder heads better than the small block Chevys. My dad actually built a small block Chevy with a set of Buick cylinder heads on it. And it was a screamer, because those heads were far better, in my opinion. And Of course, now they make all this aftermarket shit. What's he saying? I drive. Oh, yeah.
Boy, I remember
Tom?
back in the day, everything was Volkswagen because you could rebuild them. You could do anything you wanted to them for like a couple $100.
Yeah, when I was in high school, man, everybody had bugs, and they, they had the Stinger header on them, and the Baja
Hmm.
tires, and the wheel adapters and all that shit.
Yeah, there's quite a few of those around here too back in the day.
Yeah, but then they all just kind of went away. A friend of the family has started building one years ago. I don't think it's done yet, but it's on it's the Bug, and it's rear drive, and it's got a big block Chevy in the front of it. And somebody built this crazy tube frame for it, so the body will sit down on it, and I don't know that he ever got it done. I'll have to get a hold of him to see. He actually reached out to me for no names because he has my late uncle, uh, a Vega that we built for him before he passed away, and he bought it, and he raced it for a couple of years, and then now he said it's just sitting on the side of his garage. He's like, why don't you come get this thing, get it running, and use it? I should had, because it's pretty quick. It ran like 680s here in the 8th mile, which I know the elevation's different, where we were at in Sykeston, but it was a cool little car. It was like
They can be quick.
yeah, and the same guy that did the chassis on the Bug, he rear halved this car, and it doesn't have a real big tire, but it's bigger than like a normal. It's not a small tire, but it's not a big tire. It's like a medium tire. I can't remember what size tire is on it, but I mean the stupid thing would hook on ice. You didn't even have to do a burnout because it's small block, and But yeah, I still may take him up on that.
Ari, little Hitler mobiles.
Yeah, it was Hitler's mobile. Yeah, it was the people's car, the Volkswagen. Yeah,
So that's what I
Yeah,
learned.
but they only made a few of them. It was kind of a scam, really.
yeah.
I learned
After the war, they took off.
hmm The early ones are so cool though. Like they have the teardrop shaped headlights
Hmm.
in them, and the neat little luggage racks on top, and
I learned to drive in a Volkswagen.
yeah,
Yep.
I think I did too. As a matter of fact,
I used
I
to
can't
drive
really-
up and down next to the railroad, the old
Yeah.
railroad tracks.
Yeah, our
With
neighbor
the old
had
roller
one.
pedal.
Remember, if you went all the way down the back that along the tracks road, because this was out in the boonies. It's a stretch. The next house is down there around the next turn. But once you got down over there and you went over a little dike, and then there's a hunting cabin kind of down in there. Used to be a house, and it gets real soupy down in there. Well, he's down in there, and my brother was ripping donuts around this cabin, just tore it all to shreds.
Right.
Got busted for it. It's like we had to pull it out once. It turns out there was a septic tank over there in the middle of this wetland, so it was extra soupy. Sunk it to the floorboard.
Soupy or poopy?
Yeah.
What's that?
It was
big
enough.
block?
It was enough when I climbed out of the car. I was already at ground level, so.
How you doing, Big Block? How you doing, Auto Salvage Outlaws? What's
Yeah,
happening,
we had-
fellas?
We had a lot of work to do putting that yard back together.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to hide from that one when you're the only
Yeah.
car that goes up and down the back road 15 times a day.
Right. Lord. But yeah, I had a productive day today. I'm gonna try and get after it tomorrow some more.
Yeah, me too. I gotta get that shop opened up so I can get a project in there.
Yeah.
Because that orange piece of paper is going to have something on it here real soon.
Yeah, I think he's about, now that PRI is done, I think he's going to be just about ready to to let her rip.
Well, he said one time he's going to announce it on New Year's like he did.
Yeah. Okay. Is that when it was? I couldn't even remember.
As long as they got everything ironed out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Mopar girl, no, I have not been working out. I've been doing a lot of walking in the woods.
I bet that's Wendy changed her name. She's trying to be incognito.
Thanks for the boost in confidence, though. I'll take it.
So you
Small
got your
victory.
tickets. You got your tickets to come to my gun show. I don't have no guns. I ain't playing. Well, I have different kind of guns, but yeah.
I got a 22.
Televangelist John will return soon, Ari says.
No, here you go. Gun show, Jason.
Oh, shit.
Let's see
About
if
to get demonetized, but BareRose.
Uh-oh.
It's hard to.
Yeah, we make so much off of this anyway.
No, they get
Somebody
to.
did that to me one night. You're going to get demonetized. I'm like, oh, whoopity shit. I don't make anything.
Oh, it's the cat. It was the cat.
The
Yeah.
gato, huh? Okay. Gotcha. I saw it.
Now I'm going to have to buy that lug nut all by myself.
Golly.
Just take a 4-way and go get you one off the neighbor's car.
But you can't guess what's inside this. Oh, Lord, I got cat hair or something. Oh, my cat last night kept hearing her meow, meow, meow. We got like a storage room right here. And she got up. I'm in the basement, obviously. We know that. She was chasing mice, and she got up in between the floor and the ceiling here and got stuck.
Oh, no.
Oh, so then I go to dig her out, and she was pissed, man. She was, you know, like, finally there was a bunch of rifle cases and stuff that I stick up in there, and I just jammed one of them down in there and like knocked her loose from whatever she was, and I pulled it back out. Man, she come out of there with her hair on fire. You know?
Is it between the floors?
Yeah, she was between the I mean, she
Okay, I
was
was saying there she might be getting hung up on nails through
I
the
think
board.
she was, because that's why I just took that gun case and just pretty much smacked the crap out of her. And I mean, I caught her and made sure she wasn't, but she didn't look like she had any wounds or anything.
Cats have 9 lives. Well, they go through a lot of abuse.
And this cat she looks like a kitten. She's super tiny, and I'm not shitting you. My son's bed is about an inch and a half off the ground. She can squeeze under that thing. Like, how can you even get under there? Like, they got flexible bones or something. So yeah, she was just like right here above me. She was, I don't know, maybe she got hung up in the wires for the lights, but yeah. So yeah, I just took my shotgun case and kind of smacked her with it and pulled it back out. And boy, here she comes. I haven't seen hiding her hair over for. I don't think I've seen her all day today. She's probably pissed at me. She's probably scratching up my damn chair or something.
Go get tetanus off one of the nails and turn into a rabid cat, and you'll get infected and die. It was nice knowing you, Jason.
Oh yeah, Big Block. It cost us a ton to keep our software updated every year. It's ridiculous.
Just for the GM code release and stuff like that, the subscription that you got to pay for every month.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then we have to have when we reflash, we have to buy a subscription every month for every make, pretty much.
Yeah, and every make is a different one.
Yeah, it's bad, man.
There's a reason there's a shop rate, and then the owner gets like $2 an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
It
crazy.
Sucks.
I know. And it in like the last 2 years, it's went up exponentially. So, as we had some lady get pissed at us, she's like, you guys are making a lot of changes, and I'm not really happy with it, And I'm like, well, we're in business to make money, and we ain't making no money right now. So if you don't like our prices, you're gonna have to go somewhere else because if
Yep.
we don't raise them, we're not gonna be here to take care of you." And she was like, "Oh, well, since you put it that way, you know, it's like the value is our service, honestly." But
It does get easier when you're working with somebody's toy than their
yeah,
daily, though.
yeah, yeah, like that Jeep I'm doing,
Yeah.
that's not a problem. Like that guy's fine, but yeah, when we're working on everybody's just daily drivers, and and it's the holidays, people get really pissy, and it's of course, luckily, just about everybody that works in the shop I'm in now, we're all 30+ year veterans, so we're just like, eh, it's like, I deal with this every year, and I can really give a shit, but I want to be nice to my customers, though.
I noticed that when I went to because I'm used to working on dailies,
Hmm.
with my dad, working with him. That's all he did was just auto repair.
Yeah,
And you get all kinds of people that want an oil change, but they don't want to fork out the money for a new oil filter
yeah, right.
because, they're pinching every single
Hmm.
penny they can.
Yeah,
But
well,
went to the resto shop. Oh, yeah. And it's like, oh, wow, I can get this. Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I
no
can get
worries.
that.
Yep,
No worries here.
yep. Yeah, every time I call this guy, like, hey, I want to do this, oh, whatever, you know, you know, carte blanche, pretty much.
Totally different mindsets.
But oil changes. I mean,
A
they're
car that they're going to drive maybe one day a year when it's that perfect humidity, perfect,
mm-hmm.
weather. They might drive it out of the driveway and turn it around and bring it back in.
Yeah,
But the car they drive every day and depend on to go back and forth to work,
they're cheap as hell.
that oil filter will last another 200,000. Don't
Yeah,
don't change it.
or you'll call them and say, hey, or the car's got like 24, 20, 24, 30,000 miles on it. Needs an air filter. It's plumb plugged up.
Uh-huh.
And the new cars have cabin
Cabin
filters on them.
Cabin filters.
I'll do that myself. That's what they'll tell you.
Yeah.
And then a couple months when it's back, it's like, I didn't do it. But hey, it's like, you're going to pay me now or you're going to pay me later. I don't care. We've learned that. So, anyways, yep.
Well, it's
Just,
coming up on 8:30 here. That's what
yep.
time I was planning on jumping over to Dust Devil there.
Okay. All
Uh,
right.
I got to thank everybody for coming in tonight. Everybody in the chat, man, you guys are great. Jason, Jason and Don, this is where I started. Right here with these guys, right here.
Hey, this guy right here is where I started. Yeah. So yeah,
I'm number one
you
spectator.
are number one. Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate everybody too. So like I said, I feel bad. I wasn't on the last 2 weeks. I just been really busy and I wasn't feeling well. But I'll be back at it this week. But if I
Cool.
don't see you guys, have a Merry Christmas.
Yes,
And because we're
Oh
about 2 weeks
yeah.
out, aren't we? Yep.
I
So,
think we got one more, and then yep, it's into it.
mm-hmm. Yeah, we got one more weekend, and then it's Christmas weekend. So yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, most of us are at the age that we know that Santa Claus, yeah, he don't work for free.
no.
And those elves, they unionized.
Yeah, right. The elves are unionized. Yeah.
Oh, that made me. That reminds me. My mom's always had a Santa suit.
Oh, has
When
she?
she
Okay.
passed, I got it. So
Okay.
I'm thinking up maybe some videos. I want to watch the Slant 6 variant before winter so I can put a car cover over it. So it
Gotcha.
doesn't, just so it stays semi clean. But I want to do some like Santa's stranded, hitchhiking a ride and the Valiant stop and pick him up and.
Something really, really quick. I got a Christmas card today.
Here, I'll give you center stage.
I got a Christmas card today, and it was was from Levi.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, well, that's nice. Like, they sent me a Christmas card. He sent me a couple new stickers. So, yeah.
I like his. They're small.
Sweet.
They don't take
Yeah,
up a lot of room.
right. And Dylan he's such a good kid anyway. Like, he literally reminds me of one of my kids. Like, he's just an old soul, good kid. You know, he's gonna do well. So,
Levi.
Don's got the hat. Yeah. So yeah.
Actually, I wore it quite a bit this week hunting. I'd put my orange knit cap on top, but I needed a brim to keep the sun out of my eye.
Mhm.
That was funny
All
with the
right,
no
BareRose.
name. It's not a rub or nothing.
Yeah.
But when he broke, we all jumped over the fence, went over there and
Yes.
was pushing it.
Yeah.
And I looked over, and his girlfriend was right next to me. I said, "Oh, finally get to meet you."
Yeah. Yeah. Her name
Nice.
is, I always forget her name. I think it's Amber.
Sweet gal.
Brooke. Her name is Brooke.
Brooke.
Yeah.
Brooke.
Her name is Brooke. Yeah. So yeah.
So
Yes,
if you,
Merry
Levi,
Christmas from
Brooke,
the
if you're out
crew.
there,
Yeah.
Merry
we're
Christmas.
thinking of you.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty nice of him. So he lives like an hour from me.
Oh, really?
They were
You
at
guys are close,
PRI.
huh?
I wanted to go, but the schedule was weird this year. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was like, how the hell? I got to work.
Right?
So, but yeah, thanks for having us, BareRose.
No problem. You guys are
Have a good
welcome
night, brother
anytime.
man. Yep.
Yeah, that's why Don's getting jacked in December. He's Santa. Yeah. Actually, across the river over here, we got a candy cane lane. It's like when you buy a house over here, you're required to decorate for Christmas. It's
Nice. Well, that's good. I mean,
and years
I
years
still
ago,
decorate my house just for the kids in the neighborhood. I honestly do. I'm not an old grinchy ass, I mean, I could be, but I still do. I still decorate my house every year. Everybody's like, "Why do you do it?" I'm like, "Well, the kids, there's still kids in the neighborhood, My kids are all grown, I know, but even my dad's 72. He still puts lights out just for the kids, Someone say candy cane.
that's right.
You got the fastest candy
He
cane
does.
I
He's
ever
got a
seen in
very
my
potent
life.
candy cane. I can't wait to see what he does with that thing next. I got the
All
little
right.
miniature candy cane. The little tiny ones. That's what I got. Yeah. He's got the full size, like, man style candy cane.
Man style.
All right. I'm gonna
All
jump
right.
off here.
Well,
We're
I'll
going
probably
over
see you all over to Brian's
Yeah.
place. Brian with a Y.
to Brian with a Y. I didn't know that.
Over to Dust Devil.
Yeah.
All right.
Sir.
Thank you,
See you.
everybody in the chat.
See you
Jason,
later.
Don, great seeing you.
Thanks for
And
having us.
everybody,
Bye,
Merry
crowd.
Christmas. And get out there and keep some metal hot. And we'll see y'all next week for a Christmas special. I'll try to put something together for it. Show you something.
Something.
Well, I'll see you in the next.
All right, man.